Servus from Thurn, around 20 kilometers in the north of Vienna. We are here on a special mission today, on a special KOM hunt. The Tour of Austria rode past here a few days ago, and as you can imagine, they smashed the KOM. And we're gonna test how close we can get today by pushing as hard as we can. And I'm saying we because I have support today. My Dutch mate Cas is with me. He is not only strong on the virtual roads of Zwift, but also strong outdoors on the real tarmac, and he will be there to support me, and we will see like how close we can get there. The climb is 2.8 kilometers at an average of 5% gradient, and it's very smooth. The KOM is set by Héctor Álvarez, the big talent from Lidl-Trek, and it took him 5 minutes 33 seconds to the top. I think he pushed like 466 watts, around 6.2 watts per kilo. And yeah, we're gonna see how close we can get there. Like, definitely not gonna beat him.
Alright, we turn left and then it's go time. We were lucky here to have green lights, so we're on to a good start. The climb is not too steep, so momentum is crucial. And here you can watch the peloton of the Tour of Austria entering the climb as well. So 2.9 kilometers at an average of 5%. You can see the real life data from Héctor Álvarez. At this point he's covered somewhere in the peloton, but you will see him later. So Cas is pushing it at the front. He wanted to give me a lead out since he was not at top form after a crash about a week before where he had lost some skin, but he is a very strong rider, and I knew on a rolling climb like this I will suffer a lot in his wheel because he has just a lot more row watts in his legs than I have. The footage shown on the bottom right is from the Austrian TV channel K19. They were streaming the whole Tour of Austria on YouTube, both in German and English. This year's tour had an amazing route, and it's just so cool that World Tour pros were riding our local roads and setting some new KOMs. And yeah, after 30 seconds we are 6 seconds down on Héctor Álvarez, but you can see the challenge is difficult. There is a peloton of around 100 pros versus us two amateurs, and of course they could cut corners at the race. Not saying we could ever beat them, but I think it's important to be aware of that. So the peloton is chasing the small breakaway. I'm trying to hold the wheel of Cas. Heart rate is already at 178 beats per minute. Also Hector's heart rate is at 176 beats per minute, and after 1 minute he is 10 seconds ahead of us. Cas is still pushing it really hard here. You can see in his draft I'm still pushing more than 300 watts most of the time, even almost 400 watts. So he's really drilling it here in the drop bars, and he is absolutely flying here. Again, it's really hard to compete against the whole peloton, and at times you can kind of compare the images and see the corners. And yeah, we are reaching here this corner, while as the peloton they are still a bit further ahead at this point, and it's just so difficult. I was suffering so hard in the wheel of Cas. My heart rate is already at 181 beats per minute. Héctor Álvarez, meanwhile, he is pushing also here at this point 440 watts. And yeah, he's covered in the peloton, and since the gradients are not too steep, you can see it right here, 4%, 5%. This helps a lot, of course, especially in such a big peloton. And also that the wind was a bit stronger, a good tailwind. And yeah, we were just doing our best here, the two of us as a duo, and Cas was really sending it hard. You can see now we reached that switchback that is visible in the back of the peloton here, and we are trying to virtually chase the peloton of the Tour of Austria, overtaking some tourists here on the road. And Cas was also really drilling it through the corners, always pedaling. I was sometimes losing a few meters in his draft. Here after 2 minutes 30 we are 18 seconds down, so we're still good in time here. We're not losing too much. Cas is really sending it hard here against the whole peloton, and yeah, it's just gonna be hard because the climb gets a bit steeper later on, and yeah, there might be some attacks from the peloton. And then of course now you can see Hector is pushing 700 watts at this point, so even 800, 900 watts, so he might be onto an attack. We will see once the images change. I'm pushing 300 watts here in the wheel of Cas, and now you can see Héctor Álvarez is on an attack, still pushing 500 watts. His heart rate is at 191 beats per minute. My heart rate is at 185 beats per minute. I'm pushing 300 watts. He's pushing more than 400 watts. But at this point, he can probably see like, okay, this is just too hard and he cannot really hold that gap because the peloton is just faster, and so he reduces his power and probably is waiting for the peloton. In these few seconds he could increase the gap to 27 seconds. So yeah, he is really sending it, and the peloton is also sending it, as well as the breakaway, who is still trying to stay away from the peloton here in these switchbacks. It's a really beautiful climb here. We are also like about to reach these switchbacks. The peloton is already in the second switchback, so we are like one corner behind at this point. And yeah, it's just super hard. Heart rate is at 186 beats per minute. Hector's heart rate is at 181. We are 35 seconds down, so now we lost a bit of time, probably due to the attacks. And yeah, the peloton chasing down Héctor Álvarez. And so yeah, they're reaching another switchback. So we are 2 switchbacks behind now at this point. Héctor is again like out of the corner, pushing 600 watts. Cas is also still drilling it here at the front. And as I said, in the turns I'm always losing a bit, like a few meters. This one was not too bad, but the tighter turns I lost a bit more time. Now Hector is sending it again here through the crowd. Here he is off the front, pushing 700 watts. His heart rate is up again to 187 beats per minute. So it's just incredible to see how they can attack from this hard pace. My heart rate is also at 188 beats per minute. But yeah, my power is less than Hector's. So Cas is turning around, and in the peloton you can see attacks here from Jan Christen. I think he is followed by Andrew August from Net Company Ineos. Then Héctor Álvarez is chasing them. And now Cas is giving me the elbow. He is done with his 5 minutes interval. So now it's about me to finish off the job, 300 watts. You can see I'm suffering here. Heart rate is 189 beats per minute. And yeah, this was just super hard. The pace, holding just the wheel of Cas was already a challenge, but I'm trying everything here. But I could quickly realize, like, okay, I cannot hold that. This is not possible for me to hold that power. In the meantime, the peloton already crossed the line of the segment. They're also catching the breakaway here. It was also not possible for them to stay ahead. So after 6 minutes, I'm 56 seconds down. So you can see after these attacks that happened right at this area here, I'm losing a lot of time. I cannot hold the pace. Now my power is down to 280. Heart rate is still at 189 beats per minute. So I'm really trying everything here, but I'm just absolutely cooked here. And like following Cas' wheel was just so hard. I'm trying everything here, trying to get over 300 watts. But yeah, I'm just like, I have nothing left in my legs. The peloton is still attacking here in the legs of Jan Christen, and I'm here on the final meters. I'm trying to send it here as hard as I can, everything that I have left in my legs. I'm fighting really hard. Heart rate is at 188 beats per minute, and I'm crossing the KOM line after 6 minutes 45 seconds, 1 minute 12 seconds behind Héctor Álvarez. I pushed an average of 324 watts or 5.4 watts per kilo, a 99% effort based on my power BBs, and an average of 184 beats per minute. Shows that I really gave it everything. And yeah, finally 117th out of more than 11,000 riders on that segment. I think that's a decent result. Put that into better perspective, excluding all the riders from the Tour of Austria stage, I'm in 41st position. Marco Haller, another World Tour pro, used to have the KOM before Héctor Álvarez with a time of 5 minutes 53 seconds and an average of 535 watts, which is around 7.4 watts per kilo according to his weight of 72 kilograms from Pro Cycling Stats. That also shows how important draft is on a climb like this, especially draft of a big peloton. My power and heart rate data shows what a brutal effort that was for me. I had to suffer really hard to hold the wheel of Cas. In general, Cas is a stronger rider than I am, and a climb like this is probably perfect for him. So I reckon if we would do it the other way around, he'd be probably around 20 to 30 seconds faster than I was. The time comparison with Héctor Álvarez also shows the strong lead out Cas did. The first 3 minutes. We only lost 20 seconds to Hector. Then Héctor Álvarez attacked off the front, which gained him another 15 seconds within just 1 minute. Héctor Álvarez slowed down, was caught by the peloton, and we hardly lose any time for a minute. Then I had to take over from Cas, and the peloton kept attacking with WorldTour pros, and yeah, they put another 30 seconds on me in the final 2 minutes. But still, it was great fun, a nice challenge together with Cas. I felt like a captain who can't disappoint when the domestique is doing such a great lead out.
So 6 minutes 45 seconds, 1 minute and 12 seconds behind Héctor Álvarez, and honestly I'm happy with that. My goal was 6 minutes 30 to 7 minutes. Cas was pulling most of the time at the front. He definitely helped me there to gain another, like, I don't know, 15 to 20 seconds. I was suffering in his wheel. It was really hard for me after he ended the turn to keep on pushing and keep the pace up. Happy with my power numbers, I guess, and yeah, I definitely left everything out there. Like, it was nothing left in my body. So I hope you liked that different kind of video. Make sure to leave some feedback in the comments. How can I improve this kind of format? And else, yeah, like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one very soon. Cheers and ride on.